Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Vineland High School as we are getting set for girls varsity soccer here as Vineland hosts Hammonton. Kyle Bennett, Matt Castorina with you. And Matt, it's good to have the girls back home after a nice little lengthy road trip, but looking to continue some progress, continue some winning ways, and take it to a Hammonton team.
Yeah, they go win, draw, loss on that road trip. Lose to Ocean City, one of the best teams, not just in the conference, but in the state, undefeated on the season for them. But they get a big win over Middle Township. We watched them play earlier this season, and I think that 1-0 win on the road shows a sign of improvement over the course of the season, and this team has started to grow into itself a little bit as we start turning the page a little bit, start looking at playoffs, start looking at seeding. This is a team in Vineland maybe that is a dangerous double-digit seed as we inch towards the playoffs. But, we've seen them have a better second half of this season so far, and they'll look to continue that today, string 2 wins together.
Back at home, Vineland in their red tops, gray shorts. Hammonton in their white tops, blue shorts. We're about to get underway here. We talked about progress before we came on the air. You want to see the team as a whole continue to progress, but in your opinion, who's somebody in this matchup that you want to see kind of, step their game up from the last time we saw this team out here on the field and, be somebody that they can rely on?
Yeah, I think Kaskabas is definitely going to be someone that, we saw in that Millville game last time we broadcasted them, and, she had a real dominant display. Felt like she kind of had a little bit more space than she's had throughout this season, but she's been one of the most dangerous forward players. But for me, it's really that trio that often link up on the attack between Kaskabas, Newton, and Nemeth. We've seen Sophia Stockbridge, of course, chip in a few goals in a few big ways, but those 3 names are the names that have really created and scored a lot of the goals. So Vineland's going to go as they go, through the rest of the season, I think.
And we are underway here. Some physicality early, but letting them play. Good step by Nia Murtis. And an early throw in for the Fighting Clan.
I will say it's hard to tell. It doesn't look like Hammonton have many subs, if any. That could play a factor as this game stretches on as well, because you get some tired legs in you have a team pressing you, it can get really challenging. So that's something to keep an eye on.
This one gets sent and off the hands of Hammonton's keeper and into the back of the net. Vineland with an early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I think that was Amanda Nemeth just trying her luck. Keeper just doesn't handle it as well as maybe she wishes she had. I think she's going to regret that one, but that is an early goal for Vineland. That'll settle the nerves, in a game like this where, things can get a little chippy and a little desperate at times. Get a 1-0 lead very early is a good sign.
And this is something we've talked about both on and off air. We want to see both soccer teams get out to early leads. We've seen them play from behind a ton and have to kind of claw and scratch back and keep their way in games. Now let's see how they can continue to progress and play with a lead for the first time in a while.
That's a great through ball just offside. Kaskabas linking up with Newton. Just sent her run a little early. But, yeah, like you said, we haven't seen them play with a lead. And it is a different feeling, obviously, when you're playing with a lead. You're allowed to, I think, be a little bit more creative, a little bit more risky. You're kind of willing to let the reins loose a little bit because you're not as worried about conceding on the other end, right? Or that conceding isn't as dangerous as maybe it feels when you're down or when things are level. So, yeah, it's a good spot for this Vineland team to be in because, like you said, we haven't really seen that a lot from them so far this season. Also noticed earlier we got Anaya Gonzalez playing more forward today. We've seen her play across the back line, getting her in a more advanced role in this game. That's something an interesting twist. We've seen that from her a few times so far this season.
Yeah, it was one of those switches that his coaching staff made against some of those more, well-polished teams like an Ocean City, like EHT, who Vineland could potentially see in the postseason, depending on how seeding ends up playing out. And then against Middle Township earlier this year, where Anaya dropped back, played her, towards that midfield type of role back there with Stockbridge to kind of be a big leg back there to clear balls out. And it worked to Vineland's advantage in a lot of instances where it kept them in those games more so than not.
Yeah, she brings a great physicality to that back line, and I think you can also apply that, to pressing the back line of the opposing team. A little bit of a half chance there. They've been good in possession so far this game. Already created a few chances. This has been a really, really energetic start from them, and that's what you want to see. You want to see a team that's got some motivation, got a little bit of hunger. It feels like maybe they got through the really tough part of their schedule, and now things open up for them as Hammonton look to counter. Newton trying to dummy that and leave it for Koskabas. Nearly came off. Some nice footwork down the touchline by Hammonton. That's a great ball over the top for Koskabas. Early service, but cut up by the keeper.
Those are the types of plays you want to see from Vineland at this point, with a lead. Get a little risky, get a little, creative with your opportunities, and you want to see them continue applying pressure in that Hammonton zone and try to rack up goals as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, and I think the thing you like about that play, too, is it's a very quick transition, too. Vineland did not waste any time switching from the midfield into attack, putting someone through. You like to see that pressure applied, especially when the keeper has a mistake early in the game. You want to just continually test them.
Save for Hammonton.
Hammonton have been quick to those passes out of the back from Vineland, haven't been as crisp. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. If you're talking about Hammonton finding their way back in the game, that is an avenue for them. Stockbridge looking to break the line again, putting Hammonton under pressure. Stockbridge not allowing any carrying out of the back. Gonna make their presence known all day.
Hammonton has not been afraid to just play close to the line here early and kind of just testing the discipline of the Fighting Clan too. And a lot of instances it's led to Hammonton throw-ins.
Yeah, they've been willing to carry the ball up the line, try and work their way, but Vineland have already learned to start doubling. You even saw there about 4 or 5 Vineland players surrounding that Hammonton player. It's always going to be a challenge as this shot comes in. Off the bar.
And a knee ball right into the back of the net.
Ashley Newton gets a goal, and we've seen that from her a few times, crashing the net. We saw it in the Millville game. She's someone that is willing to make that run to the back post, be willing to make the run off a shot, and you get rewarded for it when you do that. And again, it's the same kind of recipe as the first goal. Long shot comes in, keeper just can't deal with it. Onto the bar, and Ashley Newton converts. Like you said, uses her knee, but from that close, you just got to get a touch. As long as it is a legal touch, you take it however it comes.
So finally now with a 2-0 lead here in this first half. First time we have personally seen a multi-goal lead for the Fighting Clan as well.
Newton, by the way, 5 goals, 5 assists on the season. Really signifies her role in this team, not just as a goal scorer, but a creator as well. She really is often the kind of link-up person that Vineland looks to start attacks. You see a lot of phases of attacking play go through her. Her and Koskobas have a great partnership on this side too. You see a lot of great overlaps between them. It's challenging as a defense too when you have 2 very good attacking players making runs at you. You have to start making decisions and choices, and they're smart players, so they're going to make good runs that stretch the defense. Stockbridge with some time.
Right idea, just Koskobas had no idea where the ball was going, kind of stepped right over it.
Junella with a great pass for Stockbridge, but just a little too much on it, but I love the vision there. We get a big swap in substitutes for Vineland.
This one's in the air off the goal kick. Great job by Cuccinella to get in there and create an opportunity here for the Fighting Clan, just out of the reach of Koskobas there on the run.
Again, though, it's a great run by Koskobas. It's a great pass, too. Again, just a little too much on it, but that's great vision. You can see Vineland. This is, I think, some of the most free that they've played so far this year. Definitely feel there's a little bit of confidence in this team that maybe wasn't there early in the season, but again, you weather the storm of some tough matchups. You make a good account of yourself, and pays off when you have some good results. And things start to turn a little bit more in your favor.
Vineland player takes one right off the face, and we know that one stung.
It does. It's at least a warmer day. It's always the
Yes.
worst when it is cold. Never a great time to take one to the head, but obviously hope she's okay. We see a lot more awareness now too about concussions and making sure we protect our players. Even see that at the youth levels now, where heading is sort of taken out of practice, taken out of games to limit any kind of repetitive subconcussive hits.
It is homecoming week here at Vineland tomorrow. We've got Saturday afternoon football at Catone Stadium, and Elliot DeShields, the great, he always has some good halftime trivia, and I brought this up on the Vineland Football Coaches Show, Guzman's Gridiron, this week, Matt. I don't know if there's a sibling duo / married couple who have had Miss Monogram entrance like we do. You and I were both escorts in
That's
2012, and then my sister and your wife was a contestant in Miss Monogram 2 years later.
That's true. We have our own personal monopoly on the on the whole experience. Although I think we both went 0 for 2 in our.
We did.
Hey, we were great escorts though. We did our
Yes.
jobs.
We weathered the cold.
My job was to look nice.
Smile and wave, miss.
I have liked what I've seen from Hammonton so far, just in terms of, I haven't really seen a drop off from them in confidence so far. They're still willing to, pick up possession and drive forward, and they do have talented players. This is certainly not a team that is lacking for goal scorers and creative threats. We've seen that a few times in small amounts of possession. When they get in tight spaces, this is a team that can turn a corner on you. So something Vineland are going to have to still be very professional about through the rest of this game and see out is, you still have a lot of threats on this Hammonton team. You have goal scorers that can, get through on goal, and all of a sudden, if this turns to a 2-1 game, it's a very different complexion.
And, you've seen pockets of it from certain players here. They definitely have a speed element to their game as well, where, if a ball is in open space, it's going to be a true foot race to see who can get to it first and create the opportunity one way or another, and witnessed it right there with number 22 from Hammonton. It's Ashlyn Silvesti, that speed factor can come into play, especially when a team is down 2-0 like Hammonton is right now. They're going to put the burners on just a little bit more to try to, get possession and create an opportunity for their team to cut this lead in half, and Vineland's got to be up for that task.
Yeah, you always have to worry about counterattacks as well. Vineland, you don't want to commit too far forward in a game that you're 2-0 up in because, like you said, Hammonton definitely has speed, good ball carrying abilities. This corner gets served in.
Great turn there by 22, and just a good defensive stop by Vineland.
Crucial stop, I would say. I think Liliana Lopez had that covered, but that was a shot on target that gets cleared. Vineland with a chance now to break out themselves.
And that's one of those interesting opportunities there where the corner doesn't make it in the air, but gets served right to the foot placement that you want from one of the people in the box that you have, and Hammonton was almost able to capitalize there on an opportunity.
Yeah, we talk so much about corner kicks, free kicks. It's that second phase of play that can get really challenging. Your first phase, everyone, assigns a mark. You know who you're supposed to be watching, or if you're playing zone, where you're supposed to be. But as soon as that ball is played the first time, a lot of those rules go out the window, and it can be really challenging, really disorganized for a defense sometimes, and that's where you can see those goals and those half chances crop up. Hammonton pressing Vineland's back line here, not giving them any space, and they have some numbers forward. And they earn a penalty. I felt Cuccinello got ball there. It was a physical challenge. I'm not totally convinced that was a penalty, but I can see from the referee's angle, might have looked a little bit more of a foul than it was from ours, but this is an opportunity now for Hammonton to get back into this game, be it 2-1. They've hung around, they've been aggressive. Like we said, they have shown a great dribbling ability, carries it into the area, earns a penalty, and with a chance now to have the deficit. This is Ryland Carr taking this. Got 3 goals on the season, 4 assists as well, so clearly someone they trust.
Beams it right past Lopez for the score. Vineland's lead now cut in half at 2-1.
It's a great penalty. When you practice penalties in practice, you always want to, any coach will tell you, you want to aim for that side panel, because even if the keeper guesses correctly, even if they get a great jump, they're just not going to be able to get to that in time if you hit it with any amount of power. So hit it low, place it to the corner, and the keeper's always going to struggle to get it, and that was about as good of a technical finish as you'll see. And now we're at 2-1 for Vineland. Let's see how they respond. You know, they've been really dominant in this game so far, but that could be something that sets you back a little bit, a goal like that. And for Vineland now too, I think you just want to hold possession and let the momentum fade from Hammonton's side a little bit, take the sting out of the game a little bit. You can see they're just holding possession well. This is Newton for Stockbridge. Did have Koskabas making a run, but testing the keeper. We've seen Vineland have success so far in this game when they get those long shots. Keeper's not dealt with them. It's created chances, created goals for Vineland.
Low air time, and Vineland's able to come away with that one off the goal kick and trying to make something happen, but Hammonton has other plans here as they're taking it the other way.
Varsity towards the middle, and this is what we're talking about with that counterattack from Hammonton. You get 3-on-3. You know, if you're an offensive player, you're not going to have a lot of number advantages. A 3-on-3 is usually about as good as you're going to get if you get 1-to-1 on a defender.
Great job by Lopez to make sure that one doesn't sneak through and keeps Vineland ahead 2-1.
That was Ashlyn Silvestri with that chance. Just trying to shape her foot over the ball and get it on target. It's not an easy one to try and open up and hit, as Hammonton again driving forward.
Shot goes wide right.
But you can feel Hammonton are growing into this game. You know, as the minutes have gone on, they've started to reclaim possession, be more comfortable carrying the ball forward. You know, I would say it was all Vineland in these first 10 minutes, but like we said, Hammonton have really started to grow into the game now. Searching ball over top. Gonna have to be good communication here, and there is. Like to see Liliana Lopez coming out and making those claims, being confident, wanting to, you know, press her line. Vineland again pressing that back line. Doesn't amount to anything there, but we've seen the goal kicks for Hammonton haven't been great. Vineland have been able to challenge them on 50-50s and win back possession. That is going to be their aim here.
Great job by Vineland to kind of stall the speed momentum that Hammonton had going there. Force a throw in and try to shift this possession and get back the one they gave up as Fighting Clan lead 2-1. But Hammonton, over the last 5 to 6 minutes, have really applied the pressure in Vineland's zone and kept this in a manageable situation for them to stay in this game.
Absolutely. You know, and Hammonton get a goal off that penalty, and whether or not it's a penalty, who's to decide? Referee made their decision, and he's gonna have to just play on through it. But Vineland have created good chances. They haven't created anything in the last few minutes. It's been stop and start possession from them. Like we said, Hammonton have started to figure out their way through this game. You trust that, you know, those first 2 goals from Vineland, you can find that shape of play again. Hammonton have been quick anytime they're facing trouble on that back line to just clear the ball. See Lexi Rosado sub in at right fullback. Usually see her playing on the left.
Sky high over the bleachers.
Made a very satisfying sound though. That's how you know you got good connection. You hit the valve when you hear that noise. It's a great cutout by Donnelly to clear the danger. Stockbridge playing Kaskabas. But again, though, Vineland, anytime they played those balls, they've still kept up with the pressure, forcing Hammonton to concede a throw. Kajinal just snatches at that one, and maybe it looks like she caught the other player's foot. Comes away limping a little bit, shakes it off. Not an NBC football podcast or broadcast, so I'm not going to make any reference to Taylor Swift, but
Stockbridge plays this one back, and Vineland looking to put some more pressure on like they did early in this one. They had a 2-0 lead. Hammonton gets their goal on a penalty kick.
it's a great ball through. And Nemeth with some time.
Just shy. Goes to the outside of the goal post.
Hits the side ending. That's one of those crosses too that can serve both as a cross and a shot. You know, it can trouble the keeper. You know, maybe they spill a rebound, or you had Newton and Kaskabas crashing towards the net if they just get a deflection. A lot of times, it's as long as it's on frame, it's going to be a goal from that distance. And this has started to look closer to the start of the game. Vineland really dominating possession again. A lot of time in Hammonton's final third. Kajinal with a great turn. Kaskabas might be able to get on the end of this, but Hammonton's keeper was really alert there. Hammonton with a good turn on the ball. As Koskobas tracks back. Good give and go. She's going to have to run for this, but it's a tough spot to throw yourself out of whenever you have a thrown this deep in your own half. You're just able to really collect bodies. You can see there Vineland applying pressure while the ball stays in play. They were just looking for the layoff, but just couldn't get it.
That one sails over the crossbar there from Cuccinello.
Well, she saw Nemeth get a goal, and I think she's again. I still swear they have some sort of season-long bet between the two of them who can score the most goals from range, because both of them today, you know, Nemeth already with the goal, but Cuccinello's tried a few times from outside the area. And when you've seen the keeper make mistakes early on, I don't mind testing from that range. But typically it's a really low-quality shot from outside the box, but if maybe you know that the keeper can't track those shots, willing to at least test them. You really want to be getting them on target. Stockbridge with a good overlapping run. A little bit of an unforced error from Hammonton. I don't think she knew that she could let that one roll. That's where communication is really key. You know, if you have a defender or your goalkeeper letting you know to let that one roll. Now Vineland earn a corner. Stockbridge with a chance to serve this in.
Up in the air. And they're going to say that went out on Vineland.
Koskobas was at that front post. It was hard to tell between her and the defender who got the final touch. Hammonton have been really good at getting to those free kicks, those goal kicks first, and settling possession well. That's a great ball through Koskobas. If she can get on the end, it's going to be a Vineland corner. And Koskobas will take it. And somehow it stays out.
What a save.
Stockbridge had a chance at it. To be honest, I don't think she could believe her luck, because it bounces right to her foot, maybe 6 yards out. As it's not the best clearance out at Hammonton. Live to fight another day, but Stockbridge wins back possession. Stockbridge, I don't think, really expected that ball to fall right to her. Almost got caught by surprise.
Felt like Hammonton was trying to get that by surprise, you know, on the clearance there, and seemed like a lot of the girls still had their backs turned, weren't ready for that one to be sent.
It's another opportunity here for Vineland to get a goal, go into halftime with a 2-goal lead. Stockbridge going to hustle to get to the end of this. She does. Oh. Cuccinello just slices it. She had time to really set her shot, set up for a cross, and just didn't get the final product right, but man, and Nemeth winning that one. great switch of play from Hammonton. Just doesn't come off. It's a great turn, and Nia Gonzalez gets onto the end of it. She is just powering her way through the defense. Ball had a lot of speed there. She's never really had full control in possession there. Hammonton able to deal with the danger. Koskobas great control to keep that in play.
Right into the hands of the keeper there for Hammonton.
Catches the leg there. And this is a chance now for Hammonton to at least play the ball into Vineland's defensive third. They haven't really had a lot of those opportunities in the last 10 or so minutes. Had to play a lot of defense here. Great hustle from Hammonton to win that ball back. Stockbridge heads up, finds Newton. It's a great ball down the line. It's going to stay in play. Hammonton have had to do that so many times today, just shift over and clear the line. And Nemeth trying for her second of the game. Just loops over the bar. Koskobas into the area.
Oh, man. Great ball.
Nobody able to get onto the end of it, but really stretched the back line there. So Ashlyn Newton working hard to get back.
That one sails out of bounds.
And for Hammonton, that's a little frustrating because you haven't had a lot of possession in Vineland's final third there, and that was some of your best for about 15 minutes. And that's where those shots outside the box can be a little frustrating because you sort of let the team off a little bit. You know, you release the pressure, and now they get to reset with a goal kick. You've done really well to set up possession, and you know that shot that isn't high quality. Stockbridge ball over the top. Hammonton keeper had to be out quickly and bravely. Both Gonzalez and Newton bearing down. You see so often that miscommunication can happen, and attacker gets a touch through, gets an easy goal. final stages of the first half, Vineland. They could be a little frustrated to only be going in at 2-1. They played really well in this half. Concede a penalty, and that's how you concede that goal. And then the winning back possession has a shot.
Right at the keeper.
Vineland would really love to get their third here. Reestablish a good cushion. Hammonton would love to go in at 2-2. And to Hammonton's credit, they've not had a ton of possession in that final third, not have a ton of action there, but they've hung strong in this game, and anytime they're on the ball, their head is up and they're charging forward.
There is the halftime whistle, so the Fighting Clan will go into halftime up 2-1. And we'll be back for second half action right here from Vineland High School on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere. Kyle Bennett, Matt Castorina, and Doug Diola producing today's broadcast. We'll see you for the second half, where Vineland will try to hold on and come away with a victory here on Friday afternoon for girls varsity soccer. And welcome back, everybody, to Vineland High School. Kyle Bennett, Matt Castorina here with you as the Vineland girls varsity soccer team leads Hammonton 2-1 as we get set for second half action here. And Matt, we talked about it during that first half. Hammonton stayed scrappy, they stayed aggressive, and were able to convert on a penalty kick to make it 2-1. And they kept the pressure going throughout, the second portion of that first half to make Vineland really work and try to keep possession. And you're going to continue to see that in this one now that it is still only a one-goal deficit. So Vineland's defense is going to have to step up in a big way to maintain this lead, and then you want to see the offense, continue to add on and give them some breathing room.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be the name of the game in this second half. And we saw Vineland kind of reestablish that dominance in the final 10 to 15 minutes of the first half. So look for that to continue, but Hammonton have stayed scrappy, have stayed sort of active in that midfield to try and work it into the final third. Haven't had tons of success, but like we saw, it only takes one half chance dribbling into the box if you win a penalty or even win a free kick in a good spot. But we also noted too that Hammonton don't have reinforcements, so as this game wanes on, you might start to see that really matter. We saw Vineland get really aggressive with substitutes in the first half, maybe with that in mind that the final 10 and 15 minutes of this game could be Vineland's real big advantage, having that energy, having that stamina, all that stuff left in the tank. Kuchino with a great turn.
If you're just joining us, be sure to subscribe to the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel, youtube.com/@VLDSchoolsTV. That's where you get every single broadcast, whether it's sports, school events, board meetings, and everything in between during the 2023-2024 school year and beyond.
What a great ball.
That's youtube.com/@VLDSchoolsTV.
Almost getting onto the end of that. Almost interrupted the ad read fully.
Hey, we'll take it if it means a goal. To send this one back as Hammonton alleviated some of the pressure there. And that's what you want to see from Vineland here in this second half. Just continue to keep it down in that Hammonton zone and create opportunities so that your offense can continue to pad this lead that you have and give you some breathing room where you feel a little more comfortable and a little more loose.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity for Vineland too to pick up another win as Hammonton looked to break on the counter. We start talking about seeding this time of year, where you are in your conference, where you are in your division. Picking up the wins where you feel like you should pick up the wins is really, really important at this stage. Vineland have done enough so far today, but I think those first 10 minutes are some of the best we've seen them play. I'd like to see them get back to that level.
Lopez scoops that one up. She's going to decide to kick it. She surveyed the field there.
Just with the way the sun is now, too, it's hard to track those balls when you're facing towards Vineland's net in this half. So any service coming from Vineland's goal kicks, going to have to keep that in mind. The players are going to be able to lose that in the sun.
And that one slips by Lopez through the hands and trickles into the net.
It's Ashlyn Silvesti with that goal. Just tries her luck. We've seen that a few times in this game from both keepers, just not being able to handle those long shots. Vineland find themselves 2-2 here against Hammonton.
And this kind of changes your mindset, you know, as you approach this next portion of the game where things are going to be a little different now. You're not playing with a lead. You're tied up. You're trying to now go and create and get back in the lead, and you're playing with a different type of intensity and different type of approach to your game now that it's a tie game rather than a lead.
Yeah, Vineland won this game 4-3 earlier in the season, so a similar type of game state where a little bit more back and forth, high scoring. Both teams able to create chances. We've seen Vineland really have the better end of those chances so far in this game. But Hammonton, all it's taken is one long shot and one penalty. See Anaya Gonzalez making that run towards the back line. She could be a big factor in this second half.
That's a great ball. Try to clear that out of the zone. Down the line by Hammonton. They maintain possession here as Vineland looking to retake that lead as it's now 2-2.
This is where you want this good response from Vineland too, where you're up 2-0 in this game, felt like you were cruising after about 10-15 minutes. Some of it has gone against you, some of the luck. But now you have to turn now and face that adversity. Find your way back in this game for a win.
As we make our way deeper into the month of October, power points, wins, they're going to start to matter that much more. Especially now, we were talking before we hopped on the air, the 16-team format now. You want to position yourself in a way where you find yourself in a good opportunity playing, a higher seed, obviously, with where Vineland finds themselves now. But you want to put yourself in the best opportunity to get a favorable matchup for yourself where you think you can go in and pull an upset in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not even inconceivable that if Vineland went out, maybe even host the game. You never know what happens in the rest of your conference, how things can break for you. But I think this part of the season, you're really just looking to establish good form as Silvesti tries again from range. Lopez claims it. It's all about going into the playoffs, feeling good, feeling you have everyone healthy as well. Cascabas into the area looking for Anaya Gonzalez.
Just out of her reach, but Vineland there to recover. And Hammonton takes a step too, and they send it the other way.
Plenty of space. Just not able to exploit it. Vineland have plenty of space as well.
Good switch there to Stockbridge. She sends this one. And it is picked up by the Hammonton goalkeeper.
Seen that a lot from Stockbridge today, willing to play that ball over the top, try and break someone through. That's a great ball by Amanda Nemeth.
Vineland will get a throw in here, trying to take advantage of being down in Hammonton's zone. A great ball into the box. And a great opportunity there for Gonzalez, but it's right into the hands of the keeper.
That's what you like out of Gonzalez, though, is that pressure she's applying to the back line. I've seen that from her all games so far, and it does get you opportunities like that where you're pressing the defender, forces them into a mistake. Newton, oh,
Field goal is good.
it's a great attempt. It's a great little passage of play right around the top of the box there. Newton just laying it on. I'm just unable to keep that one down, but seen this game open up in the second half quite a bit. Obviously, Hammonton's goal plays a role in that, but it's played at much faster pace than we saw for a lot of the first half. Good ball in the middle. Silvestri on her bike and Donnelly and Silvestri colliding. Both of them are really selling out to get to that ball.
Stockbridge playing it close to that line, plays it back. Crosses, but Hammonton there to intercept. We'll see if Vineland can recover, and they do.
Great ball over the top. It's a great run by Lena Smith. With some time, serves it. Ooh. Ashley Newton came in a little late to it. Might have inadvertently called the defender who's down behind the play. She was holding her face. Anytime you see that, referee's going to stop the game just to make sure there's no concussion, no kind of head injury. This is the best I've seen Vineland's midfield play so far this year in terms of finding one another, building possession through that midfield. Newton tries to flick that on. Emus shaping for a shot. Almost finding that top corner. Vineland of Gianna Hendershot in place of Gonzalez. I think see their roles pretty similarly to really press that back line, try and force mistakes. Both of them plenty of energy, willing runners. Donnelly turning out of trouble.
Trickles out of bounds, going Vineland's way. Hammonton intercepts and clears it through. Lopez there to scoop it up.
A long kick that finds its way through into the back line. Hendershot just continuing her run. Newton, a great cross into the box. Don't know if that was offsides or handball. I think it might have just come off the hand of Koskabas as she tried to turn that one towards net.
Yeah, it looked like Hammonton's keeper signaled the handball.
Nemeth in space. Great drop of the shoulder, and again, fighting through contact. Between her and Stockbridge, you have two midfielders that get forward with a lot of speed. They can really threaten a back line. Nemeth especially, we've seen her shooting from range and how effective that can be. Another Hammonton goal kick. And chasing that goal, but we've seen as they commit forward, Hammonton, anytime they've gotten the ball, they've looked to play it forward immediately. They've had numbers. If there's another Hammonton goal in this game, it's going to come off one of those counterattacks. Smith into the box. Stockbridge makes good contact right at the keeper, unfortunately. Smith fighting for that ball. Hammonton being equally aggressive.
Great step.
Love that from Gianna Hendershot, just tracking the ball forward, not giving up on the play.
Hammonton clears that out of bounds, so Vineland will get a throw in here. 2-2 is the score still.
Possession goes right back to Hammonton off the throw. Newton looks to get on the end of this.
Great step.
You know, we've seen that from Hendershot and Gonzalez in that role. Nemeth, but Hendershot and Gonzalez in that role, especially as younger players too. You know, you love to see that type of commitment, and that's how you earn minutes as well. You know, as a freshman, to be playing varsity, you have to be willing to do the dirty work like that. It's no wonder that we've seen those players involved so much in Vineland season.
trio of substitutions here for the Fighting Clan.
Like that, I think you give Gonzalez a breather. You know, anytime she's out, she's giving 100%. You don't want to wear her out. You want her best minutes to be in the crucial part of the game, and that's where you are now.
Lopez scoops that one up.
Nemeth with plenty of time to turn and go. A lot of space in the midfield. Nemeth, that one took a deflection on the way through from Hammonton, and that's going to give Vineland a corner. Opportunity to take the lead. Served into the box. And it's off the bar for Vineland. Still a scrum. Off the bar again. Somehow not in the back of the net, and Hammonton reclaim it. Somehow Vineland do not convert that chance. Hammonton keeper happy to just get her hands back on the ball. She did well to just, by any means, keep it out of the net. It was a great opportunity for Vineland. Just goes begging, though.
It's kind of the second time they've had a scrum around the goal that just ended up in the hands of Hammonton's goalkeeper, and a job well done to keep composure there by Hammonton as a whole, and especially by their keeper.
In situations like that, your technical skills go out the window and you're just trying to clear your lines as this ball
sails left.
But you're just focused on making sure the ball stays out of your net. You don't care how it happens. You don't care how you have to do it. Hard to even track who's even getting attempts at that point, but Vineland had a few bites there to try and convert that into a goal and just couldn't get it. It was a great ball in. It was Nemeth with that first shot that gets put onto the bar. It's great tracking back by Cuccinello to snuff out that danger. Newton turns with the ball. Looking for Gonzalez, just doesn't get there. up out of the back and just restart possession for Vineland. Cuccinello, that's a fantastic ball for Cascabas. And that was a lethal, lethal through ball. Does earn Vineland a corner. Just saw them have a few chances at scoring.
It's kind of played on the ground through the legs and off the post.
Great save by the keeper. Strong hand keeps that one out of the back of the net.
This is a game that Hammonton's keeper needs to put on her huddle profile.
Just reacts quickly to it, and he's that strong hand because that was hit with real pace towards her. Have to imagine she's probably not a lefty either. Not often your left arm has the strength to just keep that one out of the net. But for Vineland, it's another good opportunity. In one sense, you're frustrated that you haven't been able to convert those, but in another sense, you've been able to create them now, especially off those corner kicks. Newton serves that in. Ball, this is where it can get a little dangerous for Vineland, but quick out for Cuccinello. Has plenty of space, plenty of time. Hammonton, this ball is going to stay in play. They keep the throw. I think they're going to take their time here, just catch their breath because they've had to do a lot of defending. With a great pass. It's a great run. She's got Gonzalez. Well defended. Lopez comes and claims that comfortably as well. Starting to get into the territory too where a goal, it's not guaranteed to be the winner, but would certainly feel that way. Nemeth for Gonzalez. The 1-2 just doesn't come off. I think if either team finds a goal here, it starts to get really challenging. Hammonton have fought really well in this game.
Especially in the second half.
They've been down 2-0 fight their way back to 2-2. They don't have any substitutes. Very, very impressive performance from them. And when you factor in those variables, Koskabas looking to serve this in. Time to settle. Shot.
Once again, right to the hands of the keeper.
That was Victoria Hoadley with that chance. Chance to serve that in. Hammonton just hanging on defensively. With great interception, looking for Gonzalez, but just can't get there.
There's a shot
off the bar. There's a familiar sight, a Nima shot off the bar, and Ashlyn Newton the first to react to it. That's about 4 or 5 times Vineland have hit the crossbar today. Hit a post another time. Gonzalez doing her dirty work at the top of the box. And then really patient build-up play.
Stockbridge with a shot. Bounces into the hands of the keeper.
Might have to check the bar and the post for dents after this game because Vineland have certainly been doing damage there. That's where just a little bit of luck on this Friday the 13th, maybe not falling for them in this game.
Hoadley sends one, goes just wide and out of bounds.
Keeper didn't handle it perfectly, and you had Koskabas and Newton on that back post.
Well, Gonzalez being subbed out here.
Hendershot checking back in, who again is going to provide that same role. Good energy, just looked to break up play.
Hoadley switches it completely right to the middle to Stockbridge, takes a step 2, and nobody home, and Hammonton's goalkeeper once again there to make the save.
She is happy to hold on to this ball. There's been wave after wave from Vineland attack here, but just not been able to break that door down so far. Find that switching. So they can get possession here. Find them playing with some purpose and a little bit of, I want to say desperation, but certainly an energy. They want to get this winner. This is an opportunity for Hammonton to put this into the area, create some chaos. That ball's over the top. Well claimed by Lopez. This is an opportunity for Hammonton just clear. That was Madison Kenyon clearing off the back line.
Let's go, 13.
This is a great run by Koskabas. Wins a foul right on the edge of the 18. This is a great opportunity for Vineland to provide service into the area. From this angle, wouldn't necessarily be considering a shot on target. You'd like to just whip this in with some pace. Hope someone can get a head or a foot onto it. Stockbridge is going to take it. Ultimately just goes behind. Deceptively looked like it might have crept in, but
Call for it, Tor. Call for it.
Koskabas kept that in play. And it finds its way to the back of the net. Victoria Hoadley touches it home. I thought the ball had gone out of play. Koskabas kept it alive. Sends up a prayer. Goalkeeper just couldn't claim it, but Victoria Hoadley touches it home. Vineland get their goal.
13.
It's 3-2 to Vineland now. They've certainly been trying in this second half to find that third goal. Had plenty go off the post and off the bar.
Vineland now with a late 3-2 lead. Here at home, trying to come away victorious.
Way to go, Tor. Keep it.
A very much tale of two halves game.
Hammonton, this is where they're going to have to throw bodies forward. Really try and commit, but they've had to defend so much in this half. Expended a lot of energy doing so.
And there is the final whistle. Vineland gets that late game-winning goal. And will come away victorious. 3-2 here at home against Hammonton. Quite the performance to hang on find yourselves up 2-0, ends up getting tied 2-2. You don't give up, you don't quit, and you put one away in the final minute or so there to come away with a victory going into the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, two wins in a row now. This is a good sort of way to start as you look towards the end of the season. Only a few games remaining in the regular season. Victoria Hoadley with the winner at the end. You know, I think the substitute to Vineland really played a factor here today. We talked about that. They were aggressive with switching players out. And, you know, Hammonton, unfortunately, with no substitutions. You could feel that in the last 15 minutes of that half. Just lack of energy. They had to defend so much in Vineland. Unlucky to not have a few more goals. The crossbar, the post had plenty to say in this game, but exciting one, just like we had earlier this year against these two teams when it was 4-3. You get 3-2 today. Entertaining match, but Vineland, I think the deserved win, a really good performance from them, and they can feel good about this going into the weekend.
So congratulations to the Fighting Clan, a 3-2 victory over the Hammonton Blue Devils here at home. We will be back on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time from Gatone Stadium for homecoming as the Fighting Clan have a football game to play against Old Cape Atlantic League rival Egg Harbor Township for homecoming. Come on out to Gatone Stadium for that one, or tune into the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel so you don't miss out. Big thank you to Doug Diola and our entire production team for producing today's broadcast. Once again, final score 3-2 in favor of the Fighting Clan. For Matt Castorina, I'm Kyle Bennett. We will see you tomorrow from Gatone Stadium. Everybody enjoy your Friday night, and we'll see you tomorrow.